EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now last year's leading rusher in the NFL, this is Jonathan Taylor. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. Randy Gregory coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down. It's a loss of 5.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. There's Roberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. Fielded just inside the 30. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Always got some breathing room. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The Broncos at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
So second down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. Now Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 17-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's Dulcich. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And the Broncos are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. First and goal from the 3. Gibson will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third down, here's Richardson. He'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be fourth and short.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. That right there, Charles, I think is a prime example of what they're scared of. They said, yeah, you can run. We know you can take off, but be smart. He got hit pretty hard there.
A lot of these young quarterbacks, they like to tell us that they become running backs when they take off. But they have to remember, at all times, they're quarterbacks. Protect yourself. Slide. Get out of bounds. Don't take that kind of hit.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and wing in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And this is going to be a Colts first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off play action. Richardson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
1st and 10, it's Richardson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Look at end zone, and he's got his man. It's Woods. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson. And going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Colts have taken the lead. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah,
he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 36, Wilson. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. This will be caught. Judy. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there of 20 yards. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And now it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. And after all that, they're going to start out with unbelievable field position on the return. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent. Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Play action. Now Richardson. Buying time to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
And we're at the 41, second and 9. Richardson off the play fake. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Third and long for Richardson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. 2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards. They're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. 1st and 10. Here's Richardson with it. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Shaquille Leonard, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Here's Richardson to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Baron Browning with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Hamler now on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And they will take over 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard.
That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there for Denver. 46 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll run with Gibson, and he is going to lose yardage here. Shaquille Leonard in there to blow that play up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. McKenzie now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
77 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Richardson to throw off play action. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And this is something you don't see too much of. Fullbacks trying to stretch the field. But he does a nice job there getting lost out in space and comes up with a really nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Richardson to the air on first down. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 41. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Gibson again. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't...
Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A give running right, Gibson. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Wilson. Out quickly to Judy. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Antonio Gibson, his 1st rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Richardson to throw it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. The way he went into that contact as a rookie QB, you just kind of hold your breath. Maybe slide there.
Probably a very good idea. Not probably. Definitely a very good idea. And I go back to something someone told me a long time ago. In college, yeah, those guys are going to hit you, but they're just playing for a scholarship. These guys in the NFL, they're hitting you for jobs. That's a whole different hit.
And even 100 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
2nd and 8 coming up. A give up the middle to Gibson. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. McKenzie now to return it. Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a 1st down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. They go play action with Richardson. gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
On second down, it's Taylor.
In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running backs trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot, forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Denver, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.